Hello viewers, this is Liva Buhay, your information TV. Today I will be sharing to you about the typical snowy day of Stockholm, Sweden. This video is taken on a snowy day somewhere in Stockholm, the capital city of Sweden. As far as we all know, if we look at movies, pictures, videos, anything about a place where it's snowing, everything is white, it looks so beautiful, we can be amazed. And it's really nice to see when the surroundings is white, the trees, branches and leaves turn white, the top of the buildings has snow over it, and this white color of the snow really makes a very nice view to anywhere of the place. So this is taken in the city of Stockholm, the capital of Sweden. When I talk this video, we don't even have a negative degrees Celsius. We're using degrees Celsius in Sweden, not Fahrenheit. So we didn't even have a negative degrees Celsius in this day. We have like 0. But it feels like the temperature was kind of -5 or -5 or -10. It was really cold. I was even using a gimbal, which is the smooth 4, when I took this video. And of course you can hold it very well when you don't have any gloves. But even if I have some gloves on my hands, I still freeze. I usually get freeze very fast in my hands. Of course, some people may not feel it. They don't feel it. They don't freeze even if it's like, -5. But maybe the others can just take it. So as you see, it's just so beautiful. You have the water, and as you see, the water is not frozen yet. It's not ice yet. And it's because it's just the beginning of a snowy month in Sweden, in Stockholm, Sweden. Because if you go to the north, they had been a lot of snow already, like around October, November. But this is only on a January month, and it's like that. But the water is not ice yet, so it's just snow. And as I said, it was not a negative degrees Celsius. It's just 0. But then it feels like -5 or -10. It was really freezing cold. But then I continue to take the video, and I don't know, it's up to you to say if you still love the snow or but if you feel it, I don't know, other countries may have this beautiful snow and white, but maybe they don't reach like -10, or I know some countries they have it. And yeah, if you look at it, it's so beautiful. But of course, if you walk there, you run maybe, and then it can be, you sweat, and then you will not feel the very cold weather. But then if you are just walking and you are outside with this cold weather, after an hour or 2, you can really freeze in your hands if the temperature is around like -5 up to the lowest. You can go to the northern Sweden, you can have like even the -15 to -30 degrees Celsius. But in Stockholm, Sweden, the capital of in Stockholm, the capital of Sweden, the winter is a little bit milder than the one in the north. So it's like this. But during this day, it's because it was not negative. It means that even if it's snowing, the ground actually is wet. So it means that this day it is 0 degrees and it's kind of wet snow, and then some snow are melting. So the next day, when it will be negative degrees Celsius, then the wet snow that melted becomes ice. And that is when we don't like the snow anymore. And it's because it's very dangerous to walk on it. And the hardest thing is that after, when it gets turns into ice, it will be snowing again. So the snow will be covering the ice under. And that is when there's a lot of accidents that people fell down, break their legs, break their arms, and it's a lot of cases during winter. So that is the thing that is a little bit scary here in Sweden when it's snow time. So the winter time really gives a different beauty. The beauty of nature changes. You only see pine trees, their leaves that turns into white. The ground turns into white. You are surrounded with all this white snow, beautiful snow. Kids will be doing sleighs, and if you go on in the far north of the areas, or there were areas in here in Sweden where you can do skiing, snowboards, and all these things. It's a lot of things that people can really enjoy. So here you see my neighborhood. This is a neighbor of us who lives quite near in our place. Here is the area where I live. And I remember when our kids were still small, they loved doing the sleighing. But if they want to do skiing and snowboard, they have to go somewhere else and drive, like 4 hours to 6 hours to be there on the place where they have to ski. So it's really very nice view. Everything is white. But we all know that in every beauty of something, there is something behind it that we might not like. So I had explained already that the beauty of the snow, the beauty of the winter time has also its negative or its dark side. You freeze more. You got to have a lot of clothing. It's not only you see people have jackets, but under those jackets, thick jackets, they can have 2-3 layers of clothing before their jacket. And I'm one of those doing. Of course, there are some people here in Sweden who doesn't freeze, doesn't feel cold. But of course, it's not only just like Asian who are here in Sweden who freeze. Even, some Swedish people, there are some who are not, they cannot tolerate too much, and they have to have a lot of clothing. So one thing that is beautiful is like this at night time. This is taken from my dining room. And this one is taken in front of the house. As you see, you almost doesn't see the car. It's totally covered, and that is a lot of work. One of the negative things during winter, it's a lot of work when you don't have a carport, you don't have a garage, because your cars are outside and it's covered with snow. And of course, when you use the car, you have to take it out. This is in the balcony of the house. It's also as full. Everywhere is just white, it's just inside the houses that are not white. So it's kind of beauty actually. Even at night, it really makes the surrounding white. And that is one thing why people like when it snows, because it makes the surrounding bright.
This is really a very different thing here in Sweden because it's snowing, it's a lot of snow, but at the same time it's 2 degrees Celsius. So if it's not a negative Celsius and then it's snowing all the time, it means it's melting and it's just so slippery. And I even have some spikes on my shoes. It's because if I don't have them, I can just, fall down here on the snow. And this is the kind of weird thing here that most people here in Sweden doesn't like. And so as you see here, it looks like a little river here or a bank, but it's not a bank. But it's not. It's actually just a lot of water, and it's just snowing all the time. I'm on my way to work, and so as you see, it is really not so nice. And now we'll see. I have to take the bus. I hope there will be no delays of the buses. And this kind of weather, and with a lot of snow, and it's melting, and then later on it will be a negative degree Celsius. So when the weather will drop down to negative, all this water and snow that melted will become ice, and it's very dangerous. So here in Sweden, it's a lot of accidents. People fell down, broke their legs and so on, and it's because of this. So here you really have to be careful, because sometimes you have to look at this and like, yeah, it's snow, but then underneath that snow it can be ice. So it's kind of dangerous at the same time. So we'll see if I have my bus. It's just snowing all the time. So we'll wait for the green lamp. So it's like that. So it's not really that very, as we can say, a very good morning to wake up. My first day to my job after my almost 3 weeks vacation, and then your first day is like this. Yesterday was a little bit better because it was, it was warm and sunny, but today it's still snowing, a lot of it, and it's kind of wet snow. It's there is my school of my third son, who is 11 years old. So as you see, it continues to snow, and it's kind of very slippery snow, because as what I said, we have 2 degrees Celsius and it's positive. So it's not negative. All the snow falling down are actually wet, and it continued to melt. So if you look at here, it's kind of a small canal here. The water is melting. It's a lot of water now. I don't know. I'm glad I have this jacket. Now I have my bus. So my bus is coming now. I have my bus card, but they're not checking anymore. It's because of COVID-19. So you just go up into the bus directly without them checking it. So now I will take my bus. Oh, thank you, Lord. This is really not a very good weather. Anyway, oh, well, he didn't just stop here in front of me. See you later.
Now I'm back home from work, and this is my way again, and it's going uphill from my work. I only go for like 3 minutes if it's not slippery and snowy or during winter time. But now that it's winter time, it can take me like 5 to 6 minutes to walk in this area, and then I'm at home. So that is why going to work and coming back, I usually have something on my shoes, and they are the spikes. They are removable. I can remove them, so that when the weather is okay, it's kind of cold, I still can have these shoes for winter time, but not slippery time. But if it's slippery, then I usually put my spike on my shoes, which are removable. So this is around 5 o'clock in the evening, and no, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but it already looks like an evening. And it's like that. It's very opposite. On the summertime, we have a very long daytime or bright day, but on winter time, we have very short bright day. So as the saying goes, there's a thorn in every rose. Again, this is Liva Buhay, and thank you so much for watching.